Welcome everybody to episode 60 of Overdriven, the ODRL podcast. Not joined by Hedrick this week. We are joined by everybody's favorite open driver this week, Bren. What up, Bren?
Hey, Matt, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Um, Let's get out of the way here. Let's get out of the way first. Open driving, the RFK Classic was a success. Main event was a success. But do you have any address to your haters from that open lobby? And would you do it all over again?
Um, the really thing that I watched from my point of view, that I really got into was 22. I apologized to him after the race. Made a mistake there. Slid up the track a little bit. I didn't wall. He kept it out of the wall, luckily. But the second time I was trying to get behind him, mistimed it and hit him into the wall. Besides that, it was generally just being aggressive, giving huge bumps. I don't That was the only thing that I saw. Last lap, Dusty hit the wall, and I took that room, and then he eventually died. But other than that, I thought it was I didn't really see anything from my. I mean, I can rewatch my point of view, but I felt like in stage three, I mean, besides the aggressive bumping and maybe that incident with the 22, and then last lap, Dusty. I mean, I thought it was okay. I was just racing, being aggressive. I mean, we're going for something just for fun of it. It's not like I don't know. I mean, I was going for it, and I was trying to have fun. And Xfinity, I compared it to Rockingham before we started it. Turn 1 and 2 is kind of like Rockingham in a sense, where if you get on the bottom lane, you kind of tend to roll up the track. So you gotta really hold it down, and got tight once and ended up almost swallowing someone. But other than that, I felt like it was okay. I mean, from my point of view, I don't know. I mean, I thought I ran
Okay, all
fine.
right.
It was just
That's your
aggressive
opinion.
driving. It was
I
just some
can't tell you
bumps
either
that
or.
were
I can't really. I haven't seen any like clear video of it, what or whatnot. I didn't see clear evidence
from
of
stage
your.
three. From stage three, in my opinion, it was just I thought I was just from my point of view, I was given too hard of bumps. That's something that I will say. I was given too hard of bumps. Just and those Xfinity cars with those bumps, how you give them, if you hit them in the wrong place, you can get them loose and tight and up into the wall. I did realize that. That was probably one thing that if I have to look back, probably a little bit less aggressive on the bumps, but feel like we were all just going for it at that point, especially with only two spots available. You got to
Mhm.
kind of go for it. And when you're trying to make up positions, you're going from back of the field again because you got wrecked at the end of stage two. So you got to make it up, and we were all going for it. Other than that, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I got really screamed at, but I thought, besides the incident with the 22, I don't think I even I mean, I wasn't really on the bottom besides for one move. I mean, I didn't really use the bottom at all that whole
Okay.
run, so I was kind of confused. Stage
I
one and
think
two,
some would
I haven't
say.
rewatched that. I haven't
I
watched
think.
stage one and stage two. That's the
I think
thing.
some would. I think some would say the karma got you with the lag out before entering the main event.
Oh, that's my
But
second lag out of
is.
All-Star event, so that's fun. I lagged
But
out of the
speaking of
last one too.
Speaking of the main event, very good, very fun event. Shout out Taterhead for winning the first half, and then Sterlo for winning the second half. Very fun event. Appreciate everybody for showing up for a fun Rookie Fates Classic, our third one. We did it for Xfinity cars this time. Everybody did fun. Everybody was fun. Had four cautions. A lot of mileage, not fuel mileage, but a lot of pitting. Pitting here was a treat, but a very fun overall experience. And lucky to have the drivers that we have to bring on the show like that, which we were able to spectate it, but on to the future. But the biggest news of the week was the only playoff race of the weekend, and that was Michigan Trucks. Had four people battling for two positions, which was Lefty, Pure Splash, ADK, and Big Sean. Big Sean didn't make the race, so it's down to the top three. The top two had their positions had a little soft landing because of their playoff points, but it was fun down to the wire. Lefty made it by one playoff point with a tiebreaker because he won the pole that night. That's how close it was to the advance, due to his bad luck in that final stage with Pure Splash, to say the least. To be clear about it, so the two playoff drivers had the issue in the front stretch during that final stage, and came down to Lefty falling back on the playoff point that separated him and ADR, 80K, or I should say. So it was a very fun event. Very happy for the Truck Series. It was a very great, very good race. A lot of passing, a lot of high line action, and everybody did a great job. And very proud. And looking forward to seeing they give off week this week for Valentine's Day, and excited to see what they do after the break. But it was very fun overall playoff. Very everybody up there, everybody really had a chance. Trevi came away with his first top five of the season with second place. iTrip got his first ODRL victory, so shout out iTrip. And working his way back up through the ranks and got that victory. So shout out him and DHR for winning two in a row. And we'll see if they can make it three in a row at Darlington. But with that being said, two messages this week for podcast questions, and we'll start there with the truck series. Will be for one, and somebody asked if DHR won two in a row, can they make it three in a row? Um, Yeah, they can fully make it 3-0. They have the talent. They have the talent to make it 3-0. Darlington's a tough track. Practice, you can really do it. What do you think, Bren?
Um, who's on DHR's roster again?
It is iTrip, um, iTrip, Holy. Let me see. Hmm, let me see. iTrip, Holy, Big Sean, and Hendrick.
I'm gonna say no. I think we have a new winner at Darlington. I feel like this is a driver's track, and I feel like we'll see some. I think we'll see someone. I think no, that's for winner prediction, driver predictions. But I think someone else will win at Darlington. I think it will be someone competitive who. Yeah, no, I'll save that for picks. I think someone else will win. I think they'll be competitive. Obviously Hendrick has always been competitive throughout the weeks. He just hasn't got it done in the win column. We saw Holy win finale at was it Daytona? So
Mm-hmm.
obviously he's got some momentum there, and with the other two, um, I I don't want to forget them. Shit, they're probably good. Yeah. Mm, DHR. Sorry, I'm trying to remember.
Big
Okay,
Sean,
it's Big
Hendrick,
Sean, and
and
then who else
iTrip,
is on the roster? iTrip.
iTrip,
I
Holy,
okay, yeah,
Hendrick.
yeah. The rosters aren't updated. Yeah, iTrip. Obviously ran Premier a while ago on Heat 5. Might be getting in his rhythm finally on this game. So him getting his first win could definitely lead up to some momentum in Darlington. And obviously we got Big Sean, a veteran in the series, NXT veteran, and he's been around for a long time, so you can always have good performances from him. So overall, I do think they'll be competitive. I think Hendrick will also lead him at Darlington. I feel like out of that group, he's going to be the best at that type of racetrack. I know he's on controller, so it can be a little hard, or he's on wheel. I don't know what he's on currently, but I think he's trying to switch to wheel. But yeah, I
Yeah.
think he'll be competitive, and I think it'll be fun to watch. To be honest, Darlington is a fun track, very driver centric. They're gonna have to
Mm-hmm.
learn it.
Yeah, with that, we'll do the next question that will lead into our little preview that we have for the NXT and Premier playoffs, and that was, will Premier have a new champion, or will a former champ reclaim their title? Which I guess it was for Sterlo reclaiming his title for going back to back. I think his biggest um, rival right now going into the playoffs is probably Stein. Even Stein would say he probably is at a decline right now. but Stein can turn it up anytime and focus on the playoffs and get the victories when he needs it, get top fives when he needs it. But he can clearly get it down at Sterlo. Sterlo can show up and do the best he can. I think he doesn't really have to worry about Coda, and I think road courses are his weakness, and he'll have such an advantage going into that next round because the playoff points that he can fall back on that a little bit and then focus on Darlington and the other track, and it'll be fun to watch. But yeah, I think Stein is probably the main foe for Sterlo right now to repeat. You have anybody that stands out to you for standing out for Sterlo?
Just the playoff points in general. Since we get to keep them every round, I feel like Stein is in the best situation currently. Because if you look at me, for example, I'm starting at 0 playoff points, so I am absolutely cooked. To even have a shot at the Final Four and to make up 38 points in one round is kind of crazy. So if you look at it like that, you only really got 5 to 6 guys who realistically have a chance unless someone goes on a win streak and starts winning stages and stuff. But I will say, overall, the field this season has been very competitive. But we have seen Stein and Sterlo at points during this season have gone on. I don't know if Stein's gone on a winning streak, has he?
I don't believe so.
He's,
Not two in a row
but
or
we've seen
anything. I
him
don't think
been
so.
able to get his win this season, and I feel like that is something that he needed to certify him. And I think
Mhm.
overall it'll be a tight battle between them. But I wouldn't leave out Carrot. He's still in that range, I would say, within a
Mhm.
shot to be able to secure maybe steal a championship. But I would say aside from him, Cobra's been good all season. Yoshi's been good all season. Lined K Therms. It's just those playoff points that those two earned, Sterlo and Stein, that just gives them such an advantage throughout the rounds. And I really do feel like it'll be a two-man race
Mhm.
unless those two fall off a cliff and then Carrot just capitalizes on it.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. But let's get into this Michigan playoff preview here. We got Sean for Life, Insoluble, Extreme Shocks, and Spartan all going for 2 spots and to get
Mm-hmm.
into the top 12. Um, who do you got here? It's a tough one. I mean, Sean's got 7 points, Insoluble's got 3, Shocks has 2, and everybody else behind them has 1. So it's not much of a separation, but Sean has a little leeway going into Michigan, but he can't have any mistakes here. So what do you see happening here between uh, this championship wildcard race at Michigan? It's going to be very interesting.
To be honest, my heart wants Cowboys. I want Cowboys to make it, obviously, but I feel like we unless now I will say Sean has had runs where he's gotten into incidents and
Hmm.
he hasn't finished well. So if that happens at Michigan, I think he will be eliminated unless he gets really good stage points. That's the point gap of being just 6 points is not enough for him just to secure off his playoff points. So that is something to watch. If any of these guys wreck during the race and they don't win a stage or finish up front in both stages, they could be eliminated just based off finishing in the rear. So I'd watch out for that. But in general, if I had to pick 4 to make it, I would do Sean for Life, Shocks, I'll do Spartan, and then I'll do Cowboys. I think Cowboys is. I think he's gonna get back on track. I know currently. I know he technically he resigned from us. Just based off of how he wants to see how these playoff goes, and I think the playoffs will
Hmm.
go very well for him. Overall, I think he will improve. I hope he does. But yeah, that would be my prediction. Shock, Sean, Cowboys, and then who else did I say?
Shocks,
Spartan.
Cowboys, and Sean, I think you said. Spartan, you said.
Shocks.
Spartan.
Sean,
Spartan.
Shocks, Spartan, and Cowboys. Now, I will say, Insolvable has been very solid this season. It's just, like with the rest of them, I just, I don't know. I've seen more, not, I wouldn't say that. No, I'm not gonna say that. I don't know. I mean, to be honest, it's a wild card race for a reason. It's
Hmm.
Michigan. We haven't raced this track at all yet. top dominant. So if you're good at Kansas, you could be good here. That's all I'm gonna
Yeah.
say.
I mean, yeah, you got Cowboys outside looking in right now. Wilt Dang, Romeo, and Savage. So it could be a very interesting then to get these 4 spots. It's going to be very, very
Y'all gonna
interesting.
jump me
This
anyways.
NXT, this NXT one is a little more closer because you got Lost with 3 points, GS with 1 point, Ranoff with 1 point, Yeti with 1 point, T-Stone with 1 point, and then Tango, Leppy, and Dusty all with no points. So it's only separated by 3 points here. So it's going to be a very fun, entertaining Michigan race. I know a lot of people were like, Michigan, yes. I tell everybody 2 months ago it was announced it was a Michigan race. Um, I don't. I personally see Lost, ran off,
Hmm.
Tango, and I think Leppy has turned a corner in the last couple weeks to get that edge. I think he's really, really showing out really last couple weeks to put himself in the talk there. And I don't wouldn't be surprised if one of these guys won the race. So it's going to be very fun. It's going to be very entertaining wild card race, first of its kind for the series and premiere. Truck had it last week. So it's our first doing it of our first preview of it in Cup Cars. So it's going to be very, very fun. I know Premier's going to be watching this race very closely come after Daytona 500, and we get to race this race at Michigan, and they're going to be watching what they can do and improve themselves. But yeah, anybody stand out to you on this list? Lost, GS, Ranoff, Yeti, T-Stone, Tango, Leppy, Dusty. Anybody stand out to you to make it in?
I actually have someone who that I've been looking at has been running very well when he's run premier races, and he only has 10 starts on the season, has made the playoffs. I'm looking at Dusty Stud.
Mm-hmm.
Solid guy who actually stepped down from premier to run NXT.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going back up to premier next season.
Yes, yep.
Has been really good in his premier starts, and I think that would transfer over to NXT. I think he's got solid speed. I think he's getting back to what he had on Heat 5. I think he's honestly going to become better on this game than he was on Heat 5. That is just my opinion, and I think he will advance. If I had to pick another guy that I look at as almost, no, I'm not going to say that. Um, hmm. I think he'll make it. I know he's a little controversial because he's a little wild in these general chats, but I know who Yeti is, and I know how he is at certain tracks, and I think he is gonna be able to advance himself, especially with the team he's on.
Mm-hmm.
How they run things and how they cooperate and how they understand strategies and stuff, even if he's on controller. I
Yeah.
think he'll run solid at Michigan. My next pick. I'm gonna make it obvious. I'm gonna go with Lost. Has 3 playoff
Mm-hmm.
points. Think he's gonna be solid. And then my last one in. Oh no. I need to know the strategy. I haven't been able to get practice because I've been working all week. But if
Mm-hmm.
I knew the strategy, I think I would be more in time to pick him. But I'm gonna go with T-Stone. Just for the fact that Michigan, I don't know why. I'm just going T-Stone, Dusty, Yeti, and Lost. Those are my picks. To make the playoffs officially. Those are
Very
my
fun.
picks.
It's gonna be fun. Let's get this Michigan preview both in Cup Cars. Should be a top line heavy track as you said earlier. Should be a fun one. I expect a lot of if you're saving, it's probably going to be bottom. Fuel mileage could be come in play here for the first 2 stages, so it could come in play. Now, there's a lot of talk today in the journal chat about saving 5 to 6 laps. I'm not gonna say six to next. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it.
Come on, Mets.
But 5 to 6 laps, 5, 6, whatever, 8 laps.
Yeah,
I don't
that
know.
number.
Um, we're saving this many laps. People did it at Daytona, but people feel like it's not really going to be doable at Michigan being a top heavy track. So maybe you see some bottom line action, saving in the draft, type stuff. And this first 2 stages is going to be very entertaining. If you're a playoff driver, what do you really do? What do you want to save to get the playoff
Mhm.
point, to get the stage points, or do you, because it's points heavy here, so you really have to think about it. You really have to consider all options here. A caution probably wipes it out, being a total fuel mileage, and you probably could save 3 or 4 laps, even on controller. So it's gonna be very, very fun. It's gonna be very unknown, I would say, very unknown. As you said, we've never been there before. In Cup cars, it's gonna be very chaotic to say the least. I wouldn't put it past a couple cautions. Hitting the wall, stack up type cautions here and there. I don't believe the car is super loose on the bottom like it is in the truck series, because you can barely run the bottom on the truck at Michigan. You gotta be very, very careful.
It's
Middle
tight.
middle line is pretty nice if you can get that middle line going, and that runoff on the back stretch and the front stretch. So it'll be really fun. It's a draft type track, like a mini Daytona type track. So it should be fun. I'm looking forward to it. Let's get into these picks, and let's make it a quick podcast tonight. I know you gotta get to bed. It was late. Daytona 500 duels was going on, so that's why we're doing this a little later. But let's get to these picks. Who do you got for
Go
the
Casey
NXT?
Mears.
Who do you got for this NXT Michigan race, and who's your dark horse?
I'm gonna still say it again. Shout out Casey Mears. Let's go, baby. Even though he wrecked himself in a pit road, we don't talk about that. All right. NXT. Michigan. Fun track. Obviously, like we discussed, top heavy. I need to actually look at the last time we ran a top heavy track. They haven't really run a top heavy track in these next gens, so I'm just gonna use a random track for my denominator. All right.
Denominator.
All right, we're gonna pick Lyle as my main pick this week.
Okay.
Other than the fact that he won Dover and I have to pick someone. No, I'm joking.
Okay.
Lyle he's been very quick on these intermediate / mile and a halves in general. I feel like every single week, and I feel like he'll be competitive this week as well. I think he'll be able to have a chance at winning. I mean, the last time we ran a proper oval, he finished 4th at Martinsville. So I think he'll be quick this week. I think he's got a good shot at it at Michigan. And then my dark horse this week, I'm going with a guy currently currently in that bubble. I'm going with Dusty as my dark horse. Obviously,
Okay.
he's a guy having to fight his way into the playoffs, so I think he's gonna have more of a motor. And think he'll have a shot at winning this thing.
I like that. I like that. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with Iron Man for my number one pick. I just think the draft type of mini Daytona suits him well, as we know him being really good at draft tracks. I really think he knows how to save when he needs it and do the best he can with that. And strategy wise, I think he'll set up great, him and his team. And then I'm going to think, if Iron Man is doing good, I know somebody's not far behind on that team who's fighting their way in, and that's Lost, is my dark horse. And I think he's really the opportunity to get himself in, and I think Iron Man's going to do his damnedest to get him in. Uh, but yeah, should be a good one. Producer Insolvable, can you include your audio, please? And who is your producer pick for the week for NXT Michigan?
Oh, let me go look here. Let me go double check just to be sure.
You there?
Yep.
Insolvable?
Can you not hear me?
Okay, you missed the left.
Can you not hear me?
Yeah, I got you now.
Oh,
Alright.
there he
Got you
is.
now. Got you now.
Sorry about that. I think Tata's gonna win it.
Okay, Data. Okay. I don't dislike that. That's gonna be a good pick. But let's move it on to Premiere here for to playoff race for them too. Monday night, wild card. Brandon, who is your first pick for Michigan Premiere?
All right, Premier Michigan. Okay, I should already know all the freaking Why am I
You
looking at
race with them
that?
every day. You race with them
I know, right?
every
All
week.
right. All right. If I had to pick my main pick this week, I'm gonna go with one of my friends, one of my teammates. Obviously, I'm gonna go with Valley.
Okay.
Valley has been basically he came on mid-season and has been really, really good for us. Obviously won at Martinsville with that unique strategy, and I feel like at Michigan, I think it's gonna suit him very well. I think he'll be very
Okay.
competitive, and obviously, I think he gets it done. And then my dark horse this week, I'm going with somebody who's also formerly my teammate, and I said would also make into the round of 12. I'm going with Cowboys as my dark horse.
Okay.
He has obviously the same things as the NXT guy is trying to fight his way in, but I feel like this week he wants to redeem himself, especially with how he had all these wheel problems, lag outs, and stuff early in the
Yeah.
season. He really wants to get settled down at the end of the season just to see what his plans are, and I think it will
Okay.
happen at Michigan.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Carrot, my number one pick here. I think his aggression sets him up well for this type of track. I think his um the way he maneuvers himself through the field can really benefit himself to take away for this victory and get himself some more playoff points entering that next round and make getting the gap between him and Stein and Sterlo a little closer. And you're still fighting for playoff points, so you're still fighting for something. And then my dark horse is going to be somebody who I think is going to fight their hardest to get into this playoff, and that is Spartan. And I think he's been practicing himself. I think he's been talking with his team about strategy wise, how to the best to get in these playoffs, advance in this playoff, and it should be fun to watch between all these strategies. That's the biggest thing is the difference between each strategy in these playoffs, the wild card race. Points matter, so it's going to be really big. It's all about who is your final producer pick for the weekend over here in Premier, Michigan?
I mean,
Can't pick yourself.
I want to go for Sterlo here, but I'm gonna give my boy Savage a little bit of love here. Y'all are kind of
Okay.
not really bringing him up here, as he is still in the fight for the playoffs. I feel like,
Oh, he is. Oh, definitely.
and
He's
he's
the
been
one.
improving.
Definitely. I think he's finding his groove. Top lane track. He even did great at the RFK. RFC. Last week and finished second on that final lap with him and Sterlo. Had a nice little battle, so I think he can do it. I know that's Xfinity cars, but still, he can't very carry over. But I know it's a short show tonight. Don't worry. We'll back normal next week. Next week we'll have some silly season news to talk about. Who's going where for that? We got official look at the round of 12 entering next week for NXT, Premier, and Trucks. Going to Darlington next week. Throwbacks games. We'll talk about little throwbacks games now that we have a little more customization in the paint booth and people can make some throwbacks and talk. We'll talk our favorites so far entering the paint scheme chat. So it should be very fun next week going. I know it's a short one tonight, but appreciate everybody listening on the replay, watching live. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Uh, lucky to have you. Lucky to be a league growing Arca. We're growing everything for next season. It should be fun. Silly season should be fun next week as well. We got a couple guys battling, so it should be a stressful Sunday and Monday. I gotta watch the weather for the Daytona 500 Sunday a little bit, just to make sure we don't have to push NXT back another week or anything like that. So hopefully there's no weather to be had there. They should be starting the race maybe an hour earlier, maybe hour and a half earlier, if we're lucky to get away from that storms that should be arriving. I think 5 o'clock they said it should be arriving. So it should be fun. Before we let off, does any of y'all have a big Daytona 500 pick that y'all want to say?
Um, I have Ryan Priest getting it done.
Okay. All
Um,
right.
yeah, I feel like RFK, while yes, they didn't finish and they kind of died at the end of their duel, feel
Yeah.
like they really showed that they can work together pretty well. And while they only have 3 cars now, because Joy kind of died. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, I feel like they're very strong. Yeah, I have them. I have Ryan Priest potentially getting his first career win in the regular
Amazing.
season, not in exhibition.
That'd be amazing. How about you, Salva? You got a main pick you want to talk about?
I hate to say it, but them Fords looked really fast during qualifying. They also looked really fast during the duels. I mean,
They
I'm
always
looking
look
for a
fast.
Ford, possibly Logano or someone like that to get a win here.
Blaney. Yeah, I think
mean,
Blaney's my pick. I think
any
you're
of
right on
them,
the nail there.
they're really
Blaney,
fast. I mean,
Keselowski, big
Blaney
ones. They don't wreck
wasn't.
each other. I know they're
He
aggressive.
wasn't.
They wreck a lot, but I mean, Blaney's the reason Logano won.
Well, he wasn't good when Logano was pushing. Blaney wasn't.
I
as
just think it was a
quick,
different
but-
situation. I just think it was a different situation.
Okay.
They were still in save mode, but once they got out of save mode after the caution and they went, that's when they went.
I mean, irregardless, the Fords
yeah,
are just
That's
strong.
fine.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
Priest,
Fords are
should be
always
fun
strong.
one. But shout out everybody listening. We'll see y'all
Truck
next
race
week.
is gonna be
Kendrick should be
amazing.
back. He's going to Daytona in the morning, so that's why he couldn't join us tonight. And Brim will be back next week with us as well, and should be fun. Thank you, Solable, as always. And we'll see y'all next week. We're out.